Awesome. Here we are. Cheers.
So the first episode of a show we don't know what it's called yet.
Not at all. Nope. But we're here to talk about UFC 300.
Yeah. Hopefully we know what we're doing. I don't think we do. We're gonna figure it out.
But basically what we're going to do is just go down from bottom to the top. This whole card is stacked. Every single fight, even from the very first one, is main event, main card worthy.
Yeah, maybe you might think that we're complete dumbasses by the end of this and don't know what we're talking about.
They're probably going to think that, for
Yeah.
sure. Somebody is. But to start it off, first fight of the night is going to be Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. What do you got?
I think that's gonna be. It depends which Cody shows up. I think Davidson's pretty consistent for the most part. His last fight against who was it? It was at 35, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I forgot who he fought, but it was his debut fight at 35. He did pretty good.
And Cody went down to flyweight and it didn't really work out for him.
No.
So I don't know if he's holding that going into it. I'm sure.
But he's on a 2-fight win streak.
That's true.
2-fight win streak against unranked opponents.
But he's been looking good, man. His footwork was looking really good. His last fight, he mixed in his wrestling, or the one before that, excuse me.
He did that little.
Yeah, he did that little shuffle.
Yeah.
He's getting his confidence back little by little, and that's the Cody that we like to see.
I want to see Cody win. I do think Davidson's might win it. He just has a little more momentum behind him. He has more championship fights.
True.
Right. I know they're at 25, but still, he has that experience. You know.
True. Stylistically, though, he's like he said in the press conference earlier today. He's only been fighting Brandon Moreno, so finally he has a new opponent that he's going to be fighting, and stylistically too. I mean, Cody can get in the war like Brandon, but I think he knows now it's probably not the move to make because I don't think his chin's there to be able to support that type of fighting style.
Yeah, so, I don't think he should get into a war.
Right. So we'll see how that one goes up. Next one, the OGs on the card: Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. Jim Miller was on 100, 200, and now he's on 3. I believe this is his last fight at 300, right? That's what he said.
I don't know about that.
Didn't he say he wanted to go long enough just to make sure he made UFC 300, and then that would be it?
I don't know. I think there would have been more talks about him retiring.
Regardless, he came out in the UFC 100 Letterman's jacket, which I thought was super fucking fire.
That's tight.
And who has he lost to anybody? How many?
Yeah, I think he's like I know he won his last fight. Might have won his last 2 fights.
I know Bobby Green's coming off a loss to Jalen Turner.
Yeah.
Right?
But Bobby's a trooper, though.
Bobby definitely is a trooper.
And he took some time off from that knockout, which was a stupid knockout.
I want to know what people's thoughts were in the comments, if that was a late stoppage. Or do you think he should have gotten stopped earlier? Personally, yeah, I think the ref should have stopped it a little bit longer. I don't think he needed to be completely knocked out to lose that fight.
I think Bobby got knocked out like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that was personally. I think I'm gonna go with Jim Miller, man. I know,
really?
I'm gonna go with Jim Miller on that fight. I think he has.
This was the biggest Bobby Green fan
I'm a huge Bobby Green fan as well. We even ran into him at a gas station.
Yeah,
once.
every time we've met him, he's always like, I fucking love you, man. You're the best. And Bobby's super cool, man.
I'm a huge Bobby fan. He always smells like backwoods, which hits home for me. But
we've always been together when we meet him.
It's true,
dude. He's always so happy to just meet people.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be a Bobby Green fan.
Yeah, he's a big guy for the fans, and we really appreciate that. But I just think going into this fight, I love you, Bobby, but I just think Jim Miller's just on a huge wave right now. Everybody at the press conference today. Everybody really backed him. They were there for him. They understand the story behind this fight for him. So am I. I'm right there with him. I don't disagree with Aaron, though. Bobby's a fucking dog. He's going to bring it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's fight of the night, to be honest.
I am going to disagree. I think Bobby's going to take it. I think Bobby's just a little bit quicker on the feet. If it goes to the ground, I got Jim Miller. But on the feet, I have Bobby all day. And I think Bobby does a pretty good job of keeping on the feet and not going to the ground and, not letting that whole, like, I'm going to fight you in your area thing get into his head. He knows what he's good at, and he's going to keep it there. Jim Miller, he's got hands, so I'm not going to say he doesn't. But they're not as fast and not as crisp as Bobby's.
No, I agree. I think Jim Miller's focus is going to have to be to cut Bobby off.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to, because he's gonna be chasing him. Bobby's gonna be against the fence. Jim's gonna have to use his lateral movements and cut him off and interrupt that flow and intercept it. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes it to the floor because he will be a little bit more dominant in that area. Next fight on the card: Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. Both strikers, both Brazilian, right?
Yeah.
Marina's a Muay Thai fighter, right?
Yeah. For me, Jessica's the same thing as Cody Garbrandt. Which Jessica's going to show up. The Jessica that we've seen the last few fights shows up, Rodriguez going to win. And I know she said she's been going through some things, like some personal stuff, and just like physically she hasn't really been there. But if she shows up and the old Jessica's there, I think it's gonna be a quick fight. Jessica's gonna get it done. She's got that like stalk you, gonna walk you down, just right, left, put you to sleep kind of style.
They're both in a funky position, right, in terms of their careers. More Jessica, more so.
Yeah.
But Marina, right now, she's still young. She's barely dealing with what it's like to deal with losses. You know what I mean? And she's a fucking sniper, man. And I love me some good striking. And you're right, absolutely right. Jessica's gonna walk her down. Especially if she can eat the shots. Like, if she can eat the shots in the first couple rounds,
that's going to be the big thing.
It's going to be super discouraging for Marina, but I know Marina's down to slug it out for 3 rounds. So
yeah.
But I just think you can't have that style with so much of a Muay Thai sniper like Marina. Even if she can't take the shots over 3 rounds, it's just something that's not gonna last. That style's not gonna work if you're gonna eat that many shots. So I got Marina for that fight. That's just me.
Yeah.
Feature prelim on the early prelims. I think this is going to be the fan favorite for a lot of people. I think it could also be a very quick night. Unfortunately, I'm going to take Jalen Turner. I'm going to take Jalen Turner. I love Moimon Nakano. I know he wants the respect put on his name, but he's taking the fight on short notice. And Jalen Turner's a dog, man. You saw what he did to Bobby Green. Moicano, I mean, when it comes to a slugfest, all I think about is the Fiziev fight. His striking has got a little bit better, but I just don't think he can eat a solid hook. Like, personally, shit, dude. Yeah. If he slugged me with a hook, I'll probably get knocked out. But you know what I mean? Like, he can't. In terms of experience in his last fights, every time he gets hit with those gnarly hooks, man, it's kind of all she wrote, and it goes downhill from there.
Yeah, I'm about to agree with you on that. I think that's a pretty clear Jalen Turner fight. Moicano has surprised me. I thought Drew Dober was going to do better against him, and Drew Dober did really well, but once Moicano got him to the ground, he was able to hold that position, and kind of ride out the second round or the third. If you can do that to Jalen Turner, he could walk away with a decision win like that.
But something that's super slept on is Jalen Turner's jiu-jitsu, man. Like
he's just like, dude, he's like, what, 6 something?
For lightweight, he's a problem for everybody. And he's just like a puzzle. Like, it's
he's so lanky. I mean, unless you're, what's his name, Dan Hooker, that's just gonna eat one to take one, you know what I mean? I mean, eat one to get one.
I have Jalen Turner winning any fight, except if it was against Dan Hooker, man.
Yeah, so now we're going to move over to the prelims. Let's, what's the first fight on the
first fight is going to be Diego Lopez versus Sodiq Yusuff. I got Diego Lopez.
Yeah.
The man is extremely chiseled, about as chiseled as a fucking Ken doll, with the Mexican Brazilian version. The dude's a dog. The first fight he had in the UFC with the Russian dude, he straight up walked him down.
I was there live for that fight too in New Jersey.
Yeah.
That thing was bad, man.
That dude, like, those scrambles were insane.
He won the crowd over in that fight. I think he even like won a round or they might have given him, one judge might have given him 2 rounds. But that was a good fight, and that just showed you he went up against short notice against, I think at the time, like it was Eskrov. I think he was like number 6.
He was ranked, and I think he was like 8 or something.
Okay, but he was in the top 10.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And Diego Lopez goes in there, catches him in like a few submission attempts, wins like at least 1 round, won the crowd over.
Definitely.
And then his next 2 fights, 2 first-round finishes, both submissions. Like,
dude's a problem.
Yeah, although Sodiq is no... Damn, that dude's
he's no scrub either. It's just
good,
Sadiq's a little muscle shark, man. Like, he's small, he's jammed, he's a little, like I said, muscle shark.
But his striking's good.
No, it is good, but I think Diego's too fast. He's too healthy. He's too crisp right now. He's on a different wave. Not to say that Sodiq isn't, but he's got some momentum behind him. And
over a 3-round fight, if it goes all 3 rounds, I think Sodiq might do better. Because in his last fight against Edson Barboza, that's what he lost in his cardio.
Yeah, I also think that was too big of a jump for him, even Edson being as far as he is in his career. I still think that was a big jump for Sodiq at the time.
Yeah.
Right now, this is the perfect fight. This is like the perfect fight. Diego's coming off a win from Pat Sabatini, and Sadiq's coming off the loss from Barboza. So, and Diego has double the record, literally double the record.
Yeah. A lot of it is in Latin America.
Yeah, it's not.
Which is you're wrong. There are a lot of good Latin American fighters, but yeah, I'll just leave it there.
All right.
So, I think experience isn't going to play too much of a factor.
Aaron, what do you think about Kayla Harrison's debut in the UFC? How do you think that's going to go? First of all, it's 35.
I think that's gonna be an issue. If it was
the scale might beat her, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. She might lose to the scale.
If it was 45, I would have Kayla pretty handily winning
all day.
35, I don't think we've ever seen her make 35 except maybe when she was in the Olympics or something. And she's freaking huge, man. I don't know how she was gonna make 35.
I hope Kayla does make weight, man, because I want to see her in those UFC shorts. I think she's gonna she's gonna go for the first round finish.
I think we're gonna see a Michael Chandler, Dan Hooker.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was gonna compare her to Chandler in terms of just the pressure and wanting to get it done in the first round. Yeah. I don't know if she's gonna succeed because Holly Holm's a vet.
But she's coming in. I think she's 32, and Michael Chandler was like 35 or something. So she's coming in a lot younger, or a few years younger, right? Which is gonna work towards her. Holly's close to 40.
Yeah.
She's still got hands, but it's not the same Holly that beat Ronda Rousey.
That's true.
Unfortunately, and I'm a huge Holly fan. I love her.
They're both judo people though, so you never know.
Who? Ronda
and Kayla. History repeats itself.
That'd be awesome if
she got head kicked too.
Dude,
that'd be sick.
If Holly knocks her out, I'll be so happy. If it stays on the feet, I think Holly can pick her apart. But if Kayla's smart, she's gonna take her to the ground.
Oh yeah, she has to.
She has to.
It has to be a ground fight for her.
But here's the thing: is she gonna want to take her to the ground at UFC 300 in front of a bunch of brand new fans? Can she? Yeah. I think
is the UFC,
I think she can get her. I think she can get her to the ground. I know Holly has good takedown defense against some other people, but like, what other like good wrestlers, good judokas has she fought besides Ronda that Ronda didn't even try?
Yeah. No, I mean I'm sure she tried, but got her ass. Okay, so we got the East Coast fight on this card. We got Calvin Kattar, however the fuck you want to say it, versus the ex-bantamweight champion of the world, Aljamain Sterling. This is Aljo's first fight at 45. They gave him a pretty decent matchup. Like when I think of Calvin, you obviously think of the Holloway fight, but more than that, you think of how he came back and he beat the brakes off Giga.
Oh my god!
You know something.
And I personally thought he won his last fight against Josh Emmett.
No, me too. Yeah, that fight was a close fight.
You
almost forget about that fight.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a robbery. It wasn't anything like that.
Not at all.
I had Calvin winning. They gave it to Josh, which that was good too.
Was it split decision?
I don't remember what the decision was, but I know I had Calvin winning that fight, but whatever. And he took a long time off from that. It was over a year.
Yeah.
Right, and he hasn't fought since.
And he becomes.
Didn't he fight someone, but he got hurt?
Oh, his shoulder or his collarbone or something.
Something like that. Yeah. Click on this thing. It was here right there.
Oh, to Allen. It was the TKO.
Yeah. So he got hurt against Allen. Okay, so then he's coming off an injury.
Yep.
How serious was that injury? That's a good question.
That is a very good question. Those are things. I mean, and Aljo, I honestly think Aljo's gonna come out being Aljo. I don't think Aljo really has much more to offer stylistically
than just being a backpack.
I think he's gonna put on the pressure like he normally does. I mean, but when you look at, I think where Calvin's at now, the types of fights that he's learned to adjust to that type of pressure.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Aljo, the one who's gonna be adjusting. I think it's gonna be a little bit harder for him. And if he wants to go there, I think it's just right that he doesn't try and wrestle and just does the man dance. And
I don't think he's gonna do it. Calvin is too good.
That's what we want. That's what we want, Aljo. That's what we want. I think the fans want it. Do the man dance.
I think Calvin is too good on the feet.
Absolutely.
For Aljo. Aljo's gonna have to take him down. He's gonna have to Sanhagen him.
Yeah.
Which it's easier said than done because he's going up a weight class, so these guys are bigger.
I just don't think you can take down the boss of the New England Cartel like that, man. I think he's too much of a dog to try.
He is a dog, though.
He's too much of a motherfucking dog to.
He's not easy to take. His takedown defense is.
It's up there, man.
It's crazy.
It's slept on. It's really slept on.
4 featherweights. It's really, really high.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. I do want Aljo to make a good debut at featherweight, just so he can have a decent run. I feel like his run at bantamweight was cut short, but that's why I want to see him do well at featherweight. At least win this one, go on a little bit of a run. Let's see how far up the chain he can get, and if it ends, like against an Allen or against Max or something, well then it ends there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so if he does win this fight, right? Let's say he beats Calvin Kattar in good fashion.
Uh-huh.
What's next for him? Think about the top five of featherweight right now.
All right, featherweights.
You got Allen, you got Max, you got who else?
Volk is still number one.
You got Volk. Korean Zombie's retired. You got Ortega and you got Yair.
Yeah, Ortega and Yair. I think
they're all strikers. Like, where do you go from there?
Yeah, I think if Aljo does go up, he's gonna have maybe a Yair. If he wins this one, either gets an Allen or a Yair.
I would like to see him versus Ortega. Them being both grapplers.
Yeah, but Ortega's coming off a win.
That's why if he beats Kattar in a good fashion and he's right there knocking on that top 5, him versus Ortega
if he
on
does
a fight
something
night,
crazy to beat
Mexican Independence Day,
that'd be tight. That'd be cool. At the Sphere. All right, I'll try to get it done.
Dana, let me know. Next fight on the card, which is the feature prelim, Rakic versus Prochazka. Prochazka's coming off a loss. Rakic coming off an injury. What do you think?
It depends. Oh, cool. His injury was over a year ago. I want to say close to 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I want to say he has enough time to heal and then to recover and do what he needs to do. Rakic was looking good against John too.
And that's a big man. He's fucking huge.
The only time he's not big for a
205
for 205er like he's big. I mean I'm fucking small, but like he is big. But I think
Rakic is
middleweights are bigger than him.
Yeah, Rakic is a legit 205er.
Oh yeah,
the dude's quads are freaking huge.
Yeah,
so I've heard.
But it's a 2-year layoff.
2-year layoff.
Coming off an injury. We'll see what happens. I know Yuri's coming off a knockout loss against Pereira.
Mm-hmm.
He was also coming off an injury for that fight, and he even said himself that he wasn't 100% going into it. I just hope Rakic is 100%, so like that whoever wins it's a good win, and it's not tainted. I want Yuri to win.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if Rakic has dealt with that sort of pace that Yuri's able to produce, but right now I firmly believe that Yuri's had enough. He's had enough championship experience, but he's also had enough losses to understand that pace may not succeed at all times. So I think this is going to be a more calculated Yuri coming into this fight. And so is Alex.
I think in his last fight, Yuri knew he wasn't 100% and he tried getting Pereira out like in the first round, and then he rushed it in the second round. Pereira even said it. He was like, I knew he was going to come forward because he wanted to get me out of there.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go 5 rounds with him. And I think that's why Yuri fell into Pereira's traps. Hopefully, he takes a slower pace. Even if he has to drag it out for all 3 rounds here. Yeah. But slow pace. Don't go for the finish unless it's there.
But I feel like that's what Rakic is going to do. I think like he wants to win really bad. I feel like he's going to maybe drag that fight out, and it's not going to be as exciting as we all want it to be.
If it's a Yuri fight,
it's going to be exciting.
It's just going to be exciting. Yeah. If it's a Rakic fight, it's going to be boring, dragged out.
I could see that happening big time, dude.
All right.
Okay. Now main card.
So Jordan, main card. All right. You know what?
I want everybody to answer in the comments.
Yeah.
Sorry. I want everybody to answer is Bo Nickal the truth? Is he next up? Is he the one? And then, by the way, by the way, before we get into it,
because
they had Charles Oliveira as the very first fight on this card. Put some respect on this man's name.
I have a lot to say about Bo Nickal.
That's great, but you don't put fucking Bo after Charles ever, especially on a card like 300. I'm glad they fixed that.
Yeah,
I'm glad they fixed that, and I'm glad that the rookies on the card, or the rookies on the main card are being treated as such. The first fights. Go ahead.
I don't think Bo Nickal should be on the main card at all.
There it is.
I think Bo Nickal is the truth. I think in a few years, Bo Nickal is gonna be a top 5 contender, probably a champion at middleweight. I think he has what it takes. I think he has the confidence. I think he has the skills. I think he is the truth. But he's not the truth yet. They're pushing him way too hard. And not even that, but they're feeding him fights that are like...
Cody Brundage is good.
But Bo Nickal is a minus 2,500. Cody's a plus 900.
Yeah, that's
like, I put $5 out on Cody just to see what happens.
As all you should.
If you think Bo Nickal's as good as he is, don't give him someone where he's going to be a minus 2,500. You know what I mean? Give him someone where he's going to be like a minus 300.
He's been calling for Hamzat.
That's too early for Hamzat.
I know, but he's been calling for Hamzat. Like, if that's the case, like, give him Hamzat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like they're babying him to be like... And I get it. He's only had like 4 or 5 MMA fights.
They want another O'Malley very bad. Like, I get it.
And they need to start in the middleweight division, but they're just... I don't like the way they're going about it. Like, if he is the truth, give him someone that's gonna bring the truth out of him. You know, don't give him another first round finish. Let's see what happens in the third round with him. You know, let's see. Let's see him lose a round.
Very similar to like Hamzat though. You know, like he came in strong. A lot of people had mixed
but
opinions.
Hamzat jumped to the rankings.
Yeah, and then they fed him Gilbert Burns, and he earned everybody's respect. Yeah. He went all 3 rounds. He went through the war. Hate him or not.
No, yeah. At first I was like that with Hamzat, but then I saw the way what he did to the Leech, and then against Gilbert Burns, and I was like, all right.
Usman. I mean, that fight could have gone either way, but even still, he hung with the fucking welterweight champion of the world.
Yeah, on 10 days' notice at middleweight.
Correct.
All right, going back to Bo Nickel, if he is gonna be the truth, dude, give him someone that's gonna. Bo Nickel can still be the favorite, but give him someone where it's gonna at least like make the odds interesting.
That being said, we got Bo Nickel by
that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
All right, this is personally my favorite fight on the card, or at least the main card. We got Charles Oliveira against Arman Tsarukyan. Champion has a name. I'm gonna say it now, and I'm gonna say it here live on our very first episode. The champion has a name.
I think we know who.
It's Charles do Bronx Oliveira. That being said, I think it gets...
that being said, Arman...
I poke mid-second round. I'm joking. Charles Oliveira is going to submit him close to the end of the first round. That's my prediction. End of the first.
End of the first?
End of the first. Towards the end of the first. He's going to get a submission.
Yeah. Okay. I think Arman is going to be able to hold off Charles's jiu-jitsu. He's not going to do what Islam did and, like, handle him on the ground. But I think he's going to be able to at least hold him off on the ground. He's going to be able to keep him off his back. He's going to be... Because Arman's a really good grappler. I mean, go back and watch his fight with Gamrot. Yeah, Mateusz Gamrot.
Yeah. The scrambles in that fight were fucking crazy.
It was like a wrestler's wet dream. Like, it was beautiful.
100%, dude. 100%.
It was such a good fight. After that, I was like, holy shit, Arman's good.
He's really good.
Like, he's really good. His fight against Dariush... Yeah, he knocked him out, but Dariush, he had just gotten knocked out by Charles.
And he said he's gonna knock out Charles in the first round. I think that's bullshit. Yeah. I think he's just saying that. I think he's gonna try and wrestle 100%.
If Charles is a little more calculated, because Charles he doesn't mind getting hit against Arman. I don't think that's a good strategy.
Write it down in the comments. Is Arman juicing or not? I want to hear that now. USADA's gone, so I want to see it. That dude looks huge.
Yeah, he don't look as big as me.
Almost.
I think Charles can get it done. I think Charles is on paper better striker and better grappler. Arman's a better wrestler. Arman's way to victory is going to be put pressure on Charles, standing up. Don't let Charles get into his Muay Thai game. Even though Charles has really good knees and that really good front kick.
That's literally what was on my mind as you were saying that.
Yeah.
He's got to be careful with Charles' knees, man.
But put him up against the fence, clinch him, and then if it goes to the ground, Arman has to dominate, or has to get the dominant position. He has to be on top, stay in his guard, don't let Charles' legs start flaying all over the place. Don't attack the legs on takedowns. Charles is going to get that neck. He's got to go for the trips and the body locks, because otherwise Charles is gonna choke him out.
He's not wrong. And if you've been paying attention to social media, Charles Oliveira is having a son. The last time he had a child, he went on like a
10-fight win streak.
10-fight win streak. So I'm betting the house on Charles Oliveira.
I think Charles can get this done. I don't see this going to decision.
No, not at all. Very well.
If it goes to decision, it's gonna be because of Arman.
Yeah.
Arman's gonna like hold him down into his guard and throw little short elbows, little punches like that. But he's gonna write the decision out like that, or just clinch him up all 3 rounds.
If you're a diehard fan, you'd have anxiety this entire card. But if you're in it for the big names, the anxiety starts with this next fight right now, the BMF fight between Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway. The defending BMF champion, Justin Gaethje, will be defending his belt against not only Max Holloway. This is his second time going up to lightweight.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Gaethje is entering a different chapter in his career. Look at the Fiziev fight. Look at the Poirier fight.
Yep.
It's not the same Gaethje.
I can. All I can do is agree with you.
Yeah, 100%. that's not the same Gaethje that fought Khabib. It's not the same Gaethje that fought Oliveira. I think that's not even the same Gaethje that fought Tony Ferguson.
If he can do what he did to Tony to Max.
No, he's not going to do that to Max.
I'm just saying, like, if that were to happen.
What was Max's last fight?
Was against Korean Zombie and it was bad.
Right, okay.
I mean, but then again, that was like, even when they made that fight, I was like, why? Why are they going to make Zombie's last fight against Max? Like,
yeah.
Like, that's what he asked for. And of course, the UFC obliged. So, I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is.
I just think that Gaethje is going to be a little too much. He's
too calculated, man.
Now Gaethje is too calculated, and I know Max got bigger for this fight, which is gonna be good because I think that's what lost him the Poirier fight. But hopefully, getting bigger, he doesn't lose his speed, because that's what got him to the dance.
Yeah.
You know, I think his chin's gonna be there. I hope neither one of them goes. If someone goes to sleep, I hope it's Gaethje. I'm sorry, I don't want to see Max go to sleep.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see Max go to sleep.
No, and Gaethje's been TKO'd twice, so it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't hurt on the eyes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But Max, I can't. I don't think I can take.
If we're going all 5 rounds, it's gonna be Max. If we're going finish, it's gonna be Gaethje. But
yeah, I could even see Max getting a TKO, like just.
It is a
5-round fight, huh?
Yeah, nice. But I just don't like.
I love
that. Yeah, if it goes all 5 rounds, it's in Max's favor for sure. I know Gaethje's been working on his cardio, but he's a dog and he's a Spartan warrior, man. Like, he's gonna go in there to kill him the entire time, and having that type of energy does wear you out.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. It's 300. Magical things are gonna happen.
They made a movie about this. I do okay, but final prediction, I do have Gaethje winning this.
I got Gaethje by TKO in the 4th round.
Damn. Okay.
I'm sorry, Max. I love you. We got the Chinese superstars, Zhang and Yan. Who do we got?
I got Weili. I think that's pretty easy.
I think that fight wins. I said this to my friends a couple of days ago. I think that is fight of the motherfucking night.
Weili is known to put it down.
And then Yan too. Yan's coming up off some crazy explosive hands. Like, if this fight,
she just slept on Andrade.
If this fight stays in the pocket, they are winning $300,000 each of them.
600 grand right there.
600 yen. But it's gonna be such a crazy fight. I've heard all this negative talk, like, why are they even on the main card? They're on the main fucking card for a reason, and they're representing China, which is gonna be awesome. Regardless, we're gonna get a Chinese champion, which I think is also awesome. But that fight has fight of the night written all over it. Put some respect on these women's names. I
just think Weili has, again, she has the experience, man. She's been in there, you know. She dominated Carla. She slept Joanna. She had that one kind of close fight against Rose, and then the one before that when she got knocked out by Rose.
And then choked out Esparza.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. She dominated Esparza. Yeah, I think Weili's gonna take it. I don't think it's gonna be easy. I don't think Jan's gonna hand it to her.
No, it's definitely gonna be a war for sure.
Yeah.
And I can see that fight going all 5 rounds.
And they both have chins.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a slugfest for sure. It's gonna be whoever connects first. If it's a TKO or KO, I definitely.
But they're snipers. Both of them are.
Both of them are snipers.
Be honest.
I think we're not gonna see much in that 1st round. I think it's gonna be a lot of just calculating, a lot of dancing,
a lot of this, a lot of like front kicks,
a lot of range control, a lot of just consuming the other fighter. I think 3rd, 4th round is.
They're both too smart.
I think 3rd, 4th round is where everybody's gonna get their money's worth. Yeah. Fuck, man. I'm gonna have to squeeze in Weili on this one.
Yeah. I think Weili takes it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Yan takes it either.
Hey, I can tell you this: the Chinese woman's gonna be the champion by the end of that fight. The main event of UFC 300, which was speculated to be many different things, but ended up being Jamal Hill versus Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is now a 2-time UFC champion who's done the impossible in less than a couple years. And
what does he have, like 5 fights in the UFC or
5 or 6 fights in the UFC, and he's already been a double champion. He came in, he is like the only UFC fighter that I can besides CM Punk, that the UFC confidently brought in, that they knew what was going to happen, and they succeeded with their story.
Yeah.
I honestly believe, though, Jamal Hill is the complete MMA fighter and the biggest task that he's ever going to face. That being said, I got Jamal Hill by TKO inside 4.
I think people are sleeping on Jamal Hill. people are sleeping on Jamal. Okay.
Sweet dreams, baby.
People are sleeping on Jamal. Yeah, Pereira's good.
But this is an MMA big, fight, bro.
But for a middleweight.
But you even saw them today face to face at
Jamal's the same size.
It's his size, bro. Yeah. It's his size. Then like Jamal's been doing this at this size.
And the one loss he has, dislocated his elbow against Paul Craig.
He didn't even tap, bro.
Yeah, he just let that shit go.
Let that be known. Jamal Hill is him. Jamal him. He is that guy.
Dude, and then when he did a Glover, I think that put everyone on notice. Like, oh, damn, 100%. This fool can fucking strike.
If I'm gonna say this now, I'm gonna say this right, motherfucker. Like, if Jamal Hill lands a nice ass head kick on Pereira like he did on Glover,
it's over.
It's over. Not only is it over, but it's like I don't want to hear the debate anymore. The debate should be over after the whole Glover experience. But if you guys want to talk about striking, or you guys want to talk about in terms of striking, yeah, Pereira's gonna be his biggest test. 100% is gonna be. But once that is over and he finishes it in the style that I know he will.
If he beats Pereira and he like lays him out,
I don't want to hear it.
I think his next fight is gonna be Yuri Prochazka.
If Yuri gets it done.
Sorry, the winner between Yuri and Rakic.
And I'm gonna tell you now, and I know the UFC fans here agree with me. Nobody wants it to be Rakic.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have Yuri.
Boring. Yeah. I'd rather have Yuri. I mean, if he earns it, he earns it.
Yeah, half the fans at the press conference didn't even know who Rakic was.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, dude, this guy's been here for a while now.
I was like, why is the translator sitting down?
Yeah.
No, seriously though, I got Jamal Hill for this fight, inside 4, TKO for UFC 300. He's going to finish tonight in dramatic fashion and give you guys all your money's worth.
That being said, I got John Jones by flying knee.
By DUI.
Oh, by DUI. If Jamal can make it a slugfest and break the dog out of Alex, I think Jamal can win. If it goes to the ground, I don't think either one of them is gonna want to keep it to the ground. But let's just say it goes to the ground. Jamal has better ground game.
Right. Jamal's just the more complete fighter.
Yeah. Jamal's
and that's what it comes down to. Yeah, that's what it's gonna come down to for this fight.
The one thing, here's the thing. Here's what makes Jamal so good, is his footwork. It's pretty underrated. Yeah, but he has really good footwork, right?
His switching is subtle as shit too.
Yeah,
if people haven't noticed that,
his footwork is so subtle.
He doesn't switch fast. He doesn't do any of that. Every step is calculated because he's a fantastic kickboxer, but even better boxer. So
here's the thing.
Go ahead.
His Achilles tendon is where he's coming back from,
and that's the craziest injury to ever come back.
Yeah, and he came back from it quick. But
a 205er, naturally walking around like a 240.
Probably right. But the thing is, how compromised is his footwork going to be? Because his footwork is going to be his biggest tool here.
Yeah.
Against a guy like Alex. So if he can, I don't know. I think if he can, like, manage his Achilles, and if it's back to normal or back to at least a good 90-something%, I think Jamal's footwork is going to be underrated, and that's what's going to get it done for him. Because Alex, I mean, glory kickboxer and all.
This is MMA.
Yeah, this is MMA. You know, they're not fighting in a square with ropes.
Yep.
So
there's no standing 8 counts.
Yeah, if you go down, it's over.
That's it.
And if you go down from a hit from Jamal, it's fucking over. So
yeah,
I want Jamal to win.
I got Jamal Hill.
Yeah,
I think the real MMA fans do. I don't see that fight going 5 rounds at all. But this is something that we wanted to share with you. We wanted to share our thoughts, our finishes. We will be doing this show regularly. Yeah, we don't even have a name yet.
Yeah, honestly, let us know in the comments what we should call this thing. We've been going through some names ourselves. We can't really decide on anything. All the good ones are taken.
Keep it sweet, and we won't pay you if we take it. So
you get no royalties.
But because this is 300, we couldn't not do an episode on this, so we had to get our thoughts out. And let us know in the comments, what do you think the name should be, what videos we should do. Obviously, every pay-per-view is going to be something we're going to be talking about, but we do want to keep everyone updated with all things MMA, all drama MMA, all roster changes, weight changes,
and fights. Let us know how we did. Because this is our first episode, so I have no idea how I'm doing. He has no idea how he's doing.
Talk your shit.
We're just going with the flow right now. We'll see what happens.
But we'll see you guys. We're obviously going to film an episode next week after 300.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys then.
All right. Peace.
Peace. Good shit.